Donald Trump gave a speech before Turning Point USA. It was their annual conference. So as you can imagine, he said crazy things. In this case, he continued on with his insane conspiracy theories in regard to renewable energy. Take a look.
I never understood wind. I know windmills very much. I've studied it better than anybody. I know it's very expensive. They're made in China and Germany mostly. Very few made here, almost none. But they're manufactured tremendous, if you're into this, tremendous fumes, gases are spewing into the atmosphere. We have a world, right? So the world is tiny compared to the universe. So tremendous amount of fumes and everything. You talk about the carbon footprint. Fumes are spewing into the air, right? Spewing. Whether it's in China, Germany, it's going into the air. It's our air, their air, everything, right? So they make these things, and then they put them up. And if you own a house within vision of some of these monsters, your house is worth 50% of the price. They're noisy. They kill the birds. You want to see a bird graveyard? You just go. Take a look. A bird graveyard? Go under a windmill someday. You'll see more birds than you've ever seen ever in your life.
So he says that he is an expert when it comes to windmills, and obviously we know that's not true. He has more on this. Let's take a look at the next video.
In California, they were killing the bald eagle. If you shoot a bald eagle, they want to put you in jail for 10 years. A windmill will kill many bald eagles. It's true. And you know what? After a certain number, they make you turn the windmill off. That's true, by the way. They make you turn it off after you. And yet, if you killed one, they put you in jail. That's okay. But why is it okay for these windmills to destroy the bird population? And that's what they're doing.
Number one, Trump doesn't care about birds. He's never cared about any living thing other than himself. If he actually cared about birds or any living thing other than himself, he wouldn't roll back every environmental protection policy that the Obama administration passed. With that said, his claims about bald eagles is unfounded. In fact, if you go to PolitiFact, they fact checked this specifically, and they found that this was mostly untrue. And there it is, mostly untrue, mostly false, okay? And if you talk to actual experts about this, they'll tell you what the reality is. So Trump could not have arrived at this number, hundreds and hundreds, from any reliable source unless he's referring to all eagles killed by industrial scale wind turbines since they were installed in the early 1980s. Cumulatively, over time, there have been hundreds of eagles killed, probably about 2,000, which sounds like a lot. But they've actually upgraded the technology and they've changed the design so they're not as much of a problem for birds, including bald eagles. Old turbines started getting replaced by larger turbines that are being more carefully sited to reduce eagle fatalities. And then finally, something really interesting about bald eagles that I didn't even know about. Bald eagle deaths appear to be rare. Also, as a species, there is less concern because their population, about 70,000, is growing, while the population of golden eagles, about 20,000, is at best holding steady and could actually be declining.
And are you saying that Donald Trump didn't look into all those facts before he spoke?
I mean, look, I know, I try to see these unhinged Trump claims as an opportunity to learn more about something that maybe I didn't know as much about. And the bald eagle population is certainly in that category.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I don't understand is, does he know more about windmills than anyone else, or does he not understand wind?
I know windmills very much.
But I never understood wind. Can you understand windmills without understanding wind? Are we winding so much that our head's gonna spin? Are we getting tired of winding? Okay, so remember, this is the guy who said that windmills cause cancer because of the noise that they make.
Yep.
Wind does not in fact cause cancer, nor do windmills, and certainly not because of the noise that they make. So then, I mean, it's a funny story because he's an obvious buffoon to anyone who's paying attention, which eliminates a third of the country and half the media. Okay, the most obvious buffoon you've ever seen in your life. You saw him in real life, you'd be embarrassed. You'd walk away slowly and try to get out of the dinner party where you got invited with this clown who's in the room. Nobody, imagine you're in a dinner.
I would
Christmas
just tell him
dinner.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah, like,
and I'd never come back.
Imagine you get invited to a friend's house, and then they have this crazy uncle who says, "Nobody knows windmills better than I do. Nobody knows." Killing hundreds of eagles. And you're like, oh, that doesn't seem right. And then he turns around and goes, I don't know anything about wind. You'd be like, what? He's like, plus it causes cancer. You'd be like, I gotta go. Hey, thank you for the turkey. I gotta run, right? Anyway.
Okay, but this next clip, do you have more?
No, go ahead.
Okay, this next clip is my absolute favorite, okay? Because to his credit, he's a little self-deprecating here, but he also makes other claims that actually go against his capitalist nature, which I think is fascinating. So let's take a quick look at that.
I've seen the most beautiful fields, farms, most gorgeous things you've ever seen. And then you have these ugly things going up. And sometimes they're made by different companies. You know, I'm like a perfectionist. I really built good stuff. And so you'll see like a few windmills made by one company, General Electric. And then you'll see a few made by Siemens. And you'll see a few made by some other guy that doesn't have 10 cents. It looks like a. So you see all these windmills, they're all different shades of color. They're like sort of white, but one's like an orange white. It's my favorite color, orange.
All right, look. Credit where credit's due. Like he's acknowledging his like weird orange skin color, which I give him a little bit of credit for.
That's the only good joke he's ever made in his entire life.
100%.
And by the way, the only self-deprecating thing he's ever said in his life.
Yeah.
Well, unless he thinks like, but you know with Trump, you never know. He might be like, what do you mean? Orange skin is the best skin, it's the strongest skin, right? But anyway, it was a joke about himself. I'll take it. Hey, credit where credit is due. Fantastic, and people laughed. Good. Okay, and for the first time ever, they weren't laughing at him, they were laughing with him in this case. They really were.
You know, his reaction though, remember when he insulted Ted Cruz's wife and basically like on Twitter compared her to Melania and trying to make it seem like she's ugly?
Yeah.
Like his comments after that were kind of funny too. Like he's got this, he's so grotesque and I wish he had no power, right? But he has his moments where like he says things that are so crazy and outlandish you can't help but laugh.
I know, but you're laughing at him. I mean, like the example I always remember is when he was talking to the people who had participated in the Paralympics for the United States, and he was honoring them. And he's like, "They're wonderful, good people, and you know, and I watch it, but not too long. It's hard to watch."
Oh my God!
You're like, no, don't say that. No, don't say that, right? And so that's usually how he, you know, acts like a buffoon and a clown, etc. And you might laugh at him while you feel horrible for everyone around him. But this one was actually about himself. I don't know if he intended, if it was an accident, but when people laughed, he was like, okay. But by the way, the rest of the rant, what was he talking about?
Okay, so that's really the substantive part that I wanted to comment on. So it sounds like he has a problem with multiple companies competing with one another in the wind turbine business, because that's what capitalism is, right? It's free marketplace of ideas.
I see. You
free
took it
market.
in an interesting place.
Yeah.
See, I didn't. First of all, I just couldn't get past. Some are white, some are orange white, some are like. Why are we? What? He sounds like Will Ferrell in Old School, right? Like I was wondering what she was wearing. Was it white? Was it orange white?
Yep.
Why are we having this conversation in the middle of everyone? Okay. Anyway, but the bottom line is, if you're wondering why does he hate windmills so much? Because in one of his golf courses, they have windmills right outside the golf course, and it's driving him crazy. He thinks it's lowering the property value of that golf course. So he has been. So normally when Republicans do that, they're actually doing it because the fossil fuel companies that are their donors told them to attack renewable energy. In Trump's case, it's not that complicated. It's just windmills are hurting my property, my golf course. I don't like it. I think they cause cancer and they're orange white.
I like open fields, these beautiful open fields. Norway, such a creep. Anyway, that's Trump. Wind turbines, that's the story.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.